See You on Venus is a romantic drama centered on two emotionally wounded teenagers who form a deep connection while embarking on a life-changing journey across Spain. The film explores love, grief, guilt, and healing through travel and shared vulnerability rather than traditional romance tropes. The story begins with Mia, a bright but deeply troubled American teenager living with her adoptive parents. Although she appears confident and outgoing, Mia is consumed by an overwhelming sense of guilt tied to a tragic accident from her childhood. Mia believes she is responsible for the death of her biological mother, who died in a car crash while Mia was in the vehicle. This unresolved trauma has shaped Mia's entire identity, leaving her desperate for forgiveness and closure. Her greatest wish is to find her biological father, whom she believes lives somewhere in Spain. Convinced that meeting him will finally allow her to heal, Mia becomes obsessed with the idea of traveling there, even if it means doing so recklessly. Enter Kyle, a quiet, emotionally closed-off boy struggling with his own pain. Kyle is dealing with the recent death of his best friend, who died by suicide after Kyle failed to answer a phone call that night, a moment that haunts him endlessly. Kyle's grief manifests as numbness and emotional withdrawal. He feels unworthy of happiness and avoids forming close relationships, believing he does not deserve connection or forgiveness. Mia and Kyle meet through a group therapy program. From the start, their personalities clash. Mia is impulsive and talkative, while Kyle is cautious and reserved, but there is an undeniable pull between them. Mia convinces Kyle to join her on her spontaneous trip to Spain. She needs a travel companion, and Kyle, feeling lost and directionless, agrees despite his fears. The journey becomes both a physical adventure and an emotional confrontation. As they travel across Spain through cities, countryside, and coastal landscapes, their bond deepens. The beauty of their surroundings contrasts with the emotional heaviness they both carry. Along the way, Mia's cheerful exterior begins to crack. She reveals her guilt over her mother's death and her belief that she doesn't deserve to be loved. Kyle, in turn, slowly opens up about his friend's suicide and his crushing self-blame. Their relationship grows organically through shared conversations, quiet moments, and mutual understanding. Rather than trying to fix each other, they simply listen, offering companionship in pain. Romantic feelings emerge, but the film treats love as something fragile and uncertain. Both Mia and Kyle fear that loving someone means risking further loss. When they finally locate Mia's biological father, the meeting does not go as she imagined. Instead of instant healing, she is faced with complicated truths about her past and the reality that closure is not always neat or satisfying. This moment forces Mia to confront the fact that forgiveness cannot always come from others, it must come from within. She begins to realize that her mother's death was not her fault, no matter how deeply she believes it to be. Meanwhile, Kyle reaches a breaking point when he confronts his grief directly. He finally accepts that his friend's death was not caused by one missed phone call and that carrying endless guilt only dishonors the memory of the person he loved. Their emotional breakthroughs do not happen suddenly, but through painful honesty. The journey strips them down to their most vulnerable selves, allowing growth to feel earned rather than miraculous. As the trip comes to an end, Mia and Kyle face the possibility of separation. They must decide whether their connection is simply a moment in time or something worth fighting for beyond their shared trauma. The title See You on Venus symbolizes hope rather than certainty. Venus represents love, beauty, and the idea that even distant dreams can feel real if you believe in them. By the end of the film, Mia learns to choose life without constantly punishing herself for the past. Kyle learns to open his heart again, understanding that survival itself is not a betrayal of those lost. See You on Venus ultimately tells a gentle, emotional story about two broken souls finding light through connection. It emphasizes that healing doesn't erase pain, it teaches us how to carry it without letting it define who we are.